Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well, ready for business. So, bit of a funny day yesterday. Market was really choppy, bars were quite big, and there was internet issues. Still, can't get into Apex at the moment. Could earlier, can't now. I'm just guessing because yesterday... Yeah, this is at the moment. Because of yesterday... whether there was just, obviously there was the offer on and just people couldn't get on it, so I'm assuming every man and his dog's trying to get an account today, so that's the only reason I can think of. I'm not aware whether they still have those cloud whatever it is issues. I forget what they were now, but there you go. So we'll see what happens. Book maps, sorry mate, let me just turn it down. Okay, my mistake, my apologies. I keep forgetting about that. So Karina, good morning to you. Adnan, how you doing, pal? So let's have a look. Yeah, sorry about that. I forget it has volume. I just kind of look at it like this. It's flickering around like crazy at the moment, but there does seem to be a downtrend of such. So maybe we get a couple of legs up. We'll see. So there is orders at 45, which is around there. Not quite. Well, maybe they're a touch above. So I would expect another leg up. That's a light. That's a little bit low. 45 there. So a couple of legs up. That looks like a correction of sorts. Yeah, we're going to have to wait for a move up, I think, at the moment. You're welcome, mate, anytime. Yeah, I keep forgetting there's volume there. So is this just coming down? I was hoping we get a pull back. It doesn't look like it. We may do. That wouldn't be too bad, actually. If we can get above here, hit this area here, we may get something. Let's just... Okay, I was going to get an order up here, but there's no point now. I think the move's already gone. It breaks below there. There's probably going to be a few buyers there. And there we go. Move's made. I wouldn't have gone short. I mean, you could have taken that in the engulfing, but that, to be fair, it's too far from the top of this channel. In retrospect, it's a million miles from the EMA, so I wouldn't take that anyway, really. And we made a new low, so there you go. Ben, how you doing, buddy? So yeah, it was a funny day yesterday. I didn't like the trading. It's rare I do that, to be honest with you, but it's okay to do that if the bars are big, the risks are big. It's bouncing all over the place. There's trap after trap. I think sometimes you're best off walking away. It's something I've never really done, but I was quite pleased I did it. Actually, I kind of thought of the bigger picture, which is protecting my accounts. My plan now is to grow my accounts. Yeah, it was trapping, mate. You're right. Yeah, and I think when it's like that, it's just risky. And not only that, if you do get stung, it could be for 5. I mean, there was one bar I looked at was 9 points. You don't want to be losing, trades like that, especially if you're only scalping a point. I mean, it's madness, really, isn't it? But we've got 2 legs up here, so let me have a look. So I'm looking at book map here. You can clearly see there are some sellers around. There are some as much as 50, but there's some. The trouble is they swap it and change, and they keep coming around about the 47.5, which is around about there-ish. Where's that gone? So you can see them here, can't you? They're flickering around. So if we can get something up here, we may get a short. It depends. Trouble is, if I'm short in here and there are orders above, then I'm going to leave it because this thing may go high. You don't know whether trader's going to try and push this thing higher. I like these pullbacks where they have a couple of bars up or 2 or 3 bars, but that's too many, that is. And same again, these orders now are appearing up here, aren't they? So I think there's a good chance they may kind of slowly draw prices up, but it depends. This thing is, because the market's only really officially opened, it's hard to say. There are orders flickering above. 1 minute they're up here, next minute they're down here. So I think probably prudent to give that a little bit of a body swerve. Just initially give it time to settle down. You know, it may still come down, but at the moment, it looks like a little spike and channel to me. So maybe there's something like that. Yeah, there's orders flickering up here. 1 minute they're there, the next minute they're gone. So I think the best thing to do is just to give this a miss a minute. I poured myself a whiskey, actually. Well, what little's left of it. Just got myself a nice double. I'm going out this evening just for a few hours. Christmas lights switch on where I live. Beautiful little town. And they have a nice Christmas light switch on. So me and my wife are going to go and have a little bit of dinner. And maybe a scotch or two. And watch the lights come on. It's amazing how quick Christmas has come round. It's unbelievable. What is it? 30 odd days, 30, 36 days, 37, something like that. It's mad, isn't it? Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? You got some weather up north, haven't you? We've had a little sprinkling of snow down here. But I think northeast. Remind me where you are. Aren't you Northumberland? So you're quite high up there, aren't you? So you've probably got a scattering, I'm guessing. But yeah, we've got some snow around in the UK. Weather has certainly changed over the last couple of days. Heating's on. Let's remove that little one out of the way. And winter is well and truly arrived. No argument there. Snow. Oh, are you? Who's Northumberland? Little Hammer, remind me. I forget. Remind me who's Northumberland way. I thought you were Little Hammer. But yeah, northeast, Newcastle, that area, obviously Scotland. Oh, you're in Italy. Ah, Ben is okay. Gotcha. Italy. You get snow in Italy, don't you? Yeah, you do. And you got the Dolomites up there in Italy, aren't they? So, mind you, it depends where you are. Italy's down here and across, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose it is. I suppose it depends what part of. I suppose North Italy more. Is it North Italy's kind of closer to France and Switzerland and Austria, and it's kind of all in that kind of little area, isn't it? I've spent a bit of time there when I was younger. I worked in a ski resort for a few months. Well, a couple actually in Austria and France. So yeah, but Northumberland, yeah, rainy as well in it. Is it really? What part of Italy are you in, mate? If you don't mind me asking. Let's see what's going on here. It's on my list. I got to say, Italian food. I would say is probably my favourite. I think you've had 35. Oh, you've had a fair amount then. 35 to 40 millimeters. Yeah, it's a reasonable amount. Are you in Naples? Aren't you? Beautiful. Yeah, I think Italian food's probably my favourite. I think second to Chinese. I think, but we love our pasta. We love our pizzas. You just can't beat Italian food, can you? Fresh pizzas. And pasta as well. I do love pasta. I do cook quite a bit of it, actually. So, channel up with a break. This is interesting. This is quite interesting and relatively clear. At the moment, the only orders I can really see are at 60 and 65. So, 60 and 65 are up. So, 60 is here. So, I'm guessing if we can get a good setup, I wouldn't mind going long there. So, 60 and 65. I can't see much in the way of orders below. So we'll see how we go on Love Pasta. Yeah, Karina, how you doing? In fact, you're Spain, aren't you? I did a paella last night. And you're probably going to tell me off for putting chorizo in it, but I can't help it. But I love paella's a big favourite of mine. Now that is really interesting. It's very tempting to go long there. Unfortunately, it's only a first entry, but it's that strong sat in that EMA. It's probably going to go up, but unfortunately, there's no way on God's earth I'm getting in at 31 ticks with leaving about 4 ticks to the top and it ain't finished yet. But as you can see, let's get that out of the way. There's clear orders there and there's orders there. So for me, this is going up for sure. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to give us a higher low or a second entry long unless we get some. My ancestors are from Naples. Oh, wonderful. I've never been to Italy, actually. But it is on my list. I would love to. I'm not religious, but I'd love to go to Rome. Just for the architecture and stuff. So this is interesting. So those orders are still at 60. I'm going to get a buy order here just in case, because we may get a second entry here. That is such a strong bar, and if that's coming down, I'd be concerned, but it didn't trigger. So if we push down here and get a bullish bar, I may have a go at that. I wouldn't have a go here unless it broke below, because it'd be an inside bar, and that's no good for me. But we've got a clear move up. One leg, two leg. It's got to get below here first. There you go. I'm not the only one thinking about a... where are we? I'm thinking about a second entry long, so I'm not the only one. Unfortunately, nothing we can do there. Now, Thomas would call that a something bar. Trouble is, we're already at the highs. There's nothing left.
Order
now,
canceled.
as well as it may go up, there's just not that much up to that first load of sellers. So if you go a tick above, there's a 1.25. I think you got to take a quarter off usually to push through. So it's not for me, unfortunately. Possible failure. Trouble is, I wouldn't take a failure that far from the EMA because there is sell orders there and it ain't finished yet. It's just kind of unfortunate, really, but it is what it is. Giving up worrying about what we don't get. It doesn't bother me anymore. If you don't get it, you don't get it. All the stressing in the world doesn't help it. You've just got to sit back and wait. Someone mentioned about me making a video, I think last week, talking a little bit about Bookmap, how it helps me. Now, I've never really done much in the way of videos, probably why I don't have a huge amount of subscribers, but I'm not really a YouTuber as such. But I was having a browse last night, and there's quite a few bits of AI out there that can almost make them for you. So I may make something in the next week or two. Because it does help me. There's no arguing about that. At the moment, we don't know where buyers and sellers are. All we know what we're currently doing and where we've been. So this is really almost a lag. You could argue the bars are almost a lagging indicator. This is showing we're going up, but at the moment, until that bar finishes, we don't know. But have a quick glance on YouTube. You can clearly see there are sellers here, and we know these buyers and sellers act like magnets. There's strong magnets up there and not so much down below. So just by what I can see here is telling me price is going to continue up. Now, you've also got to take into consideration strong buyers and sellers, people that just hit the button and away they go. And that's part of it, but it's doubtful you're going to get a huge amount of sellers around about here where there's not much in the way of anyone. You can see this black area. So, by looking at this, there's a good indication where price is going. And look, just as we're talking about it now, price is moving right into this area. So this really opens your eyes to what other traders are thinking. When you're sat in your lonesome, sitting in a room by your sad self, just like I am, we can only really tell what's going on right now and what's happened. You can't tell really, certainly not confidently, what other traders are doing, but that's the beauty of having Bookmap. It does give you a clear picture of what other traders are thinking. And ultimately, we know the more the merrier. The more people shorting in a certain area, the more chance price has got of coming down. The more bunch of orders you've got and not a lot, you can see there's not much in the way of buyers here, so price is generally drifting up. You can clearly see it. It's pushing up. So it's really useful, this. Now, I understand people are wary about using it. And the reason I get it is because I've used it myself before, and I've switched it off and moved away from it. I've gone back and forth a few times. So I understand the, I understand the uncertainty about using something like that. Now, tendency is to short here. Now, it may well work, but I can still see a large amount of sellers at 70, which is up here. So I'm guessing this is going to continue up. So, forgetting that short there might not be a good idea. Now, there's bound to be people maybe right at the top of a channel. We've bounced up here maybe once, maybe twice. People are going to be thinking, yeah, triple test. We've got forget this. We've got a channel up there with a break. 2 pushes to a new high. Yeah, let's sell here. What happens? It triggers you, pushes up, stops you out. So that's the beauty of having Bookmap. You can see where other traders are doing business. And they're doing business at the moment above here, which is right where your stop is. Double bar entry down here. Yeah, he calls it a double bar entry. I mean, at the end of the day, prices come down to the EMA. It's pushed up a bit, crossed over, pulled back a touch and pushed up. Now, just because it hasn't broke below here, I don't necessarily see a reason why you wouldn't want to take it. Because we've come back to the EMA and we're starting to move up. But, it's Pat's rules, isn't it? But Thomas Wade, in his wisdom, has found a way to not have to miss out on a trade, and he wouldn't take them if they don't work. So I don't see an issue with adjusting things as you get more experienced. Matt kind of all bar said that to me a couple of years ago. It's only natural to, figure out other ways to make money from the market. So I think Thomas Wade's made a wise decision. If it doesn't matter what you do in life, if it works, take it. That's what I say. So if you'd have taken that one, came back, went up, stopped you out for 1 tick, which is infuriating. But there are orders at 62.5, which is here. There's probably bound to be traders thinking about going short here because we're going a bit sideways. But what happens? Pushes up again. And where's it going? Right up here, because we can see there are sellers up here. Right at 70, boom, which is there. And it's just hit that now, so it's hit those sell orders. Where's my thingy? There it is. So it's gone right up and hit those. So it's drifted up as we thought it would do and got to right where we put that mark at 70, and it's just ticked above it. So it's eaten those orders at 70. Now there are other orders slightly further up. Not super strong, but it's more or less all we've got. We've not got much down here. There are some at 65, not a huge amount, and some at 62, so it may have a pullback. But with the information Bookmap's given us and the generally where price is in this channel, you kind of would think then maybe it may come back. But there you go. But this is definitely helping me 100%. I can't stress enough how many trades that I've seen other traders in that they've lost that I would have avoided for obvious reasons. I'm almost trying to capture a trade that someone else has taken, just to kind of, use it as an example. I've got to be careful though whose picture I dragged in, because it's unfair to, to pick people up with a loss. I have brought in a couple of charts, but I've kept their names out of it because it's unfair to, I'd probably be a bit embarrassed if I had a loss and someone used it as an example. So I'm trying to avoid that. So what are we looking at now? So there are a few orders at 70, which is there. So this may come back a bit. But you can see these orders are getting up here relatively strong, certainly right up to 80, which is up here. So I think this is going to continue. That being that, I still wouldn't be surprised if we had a pullback to the bottom here. So we've got strong, what am I doing? We've got strong sellers at 80. So I think there's a fair, there's some are further above as well. I think there's a fair chance there are some at 75. So for me, based on those strong orders I can see here, which you wouldn't necessarily see, you never know when price is going to break and do something completely different. But my guess is this is probably going to push up. Now, there are buyers here around about 65-ish, which you probably expect at the moment. You know, because we're going up, we're going to have a pullback at some point. So there are some buyers there. So, you know, I think this is still going to go up. Whether it does it in this first move or whether it messes around a bit first is hard to say. So another thing I want to do, just to maybe give me another bit of guidance, is put that up there. We have got orders right up here. There's certainly plenty around this area, right where that measured move would be. So I'd be quite confident this thing's going to push higher. What it's going to do before it does is another matter. There are certainly orders at 65 and there are some at 60. They're not very strong at 60, so I wouldn't be shocked if it didn't get down there. But if this is a break, if we do get a break from this channel, I wouldn't be surprised if we had 2 legs down. But at the moment, I'm sitting tight. Because there are orders here, so I think there's a channel with a break. I think this is probably going to have a bit more of a significant break than this. So let's put that there, and we've got a break. Let's see if this comes down. Still got to take into consideration aggressive buyers, and they're a little bit higher at the moment, so you can see price going up. There are orders below, orders above. But at the moment, the aggressive buyers are slightly ahead of the sellers. So there we go, small break straight up, which doesn't often that happen. Doesn't happen that often. So that was one that I was quite confident it was going to hit, and that one as well. So straight away, we've already hit that. So if you were in somewhere here, and you wanted to hold on, seeing these strong orders up here is usually a good indication that price is going to reach them and may help you hold on to a trade a bit longer. That's assuming you're Jason. How you doing, buddy? Sorry, what was that tool you just showed? This here, Bookmap. Okay, so Bookmap is it's a piece of software which shows you where pending orders are. So if I put a sell order up here, a sell limit order, in other words, if price comes to me, I'll sell up at, say, 700, it would appear on here with a bunch of others. So the candlesticks tell you where we've been and what we're doing in the current bar. And they do give you a bit of guidance on the pattern they're creating. But it helps if you can see where other sellers are, because this and these sell orders up here act like a magnet, and you can clearly see what's going on, can't you? We've pushed up to this level, we're pushing up to this level, and quite likely that. So this is Bookmap. Now you can pay for it, but this is free to watch on YouTube. If you just select Bookmap Live ES, you'll see this. Just check it's right. Check it's where, I mean, 90. So we're at 80. We're at 80 now. Make sure it's the same, because they do have. You will still be able to watch the Bookmap from yesterday and the day before, so you don't want to be looking at the wrong day. But this just gives you a bit of an idea where other traders are. So that's called Bookmap. I've used it on and off, but I've only kind of taken more or paid more attention to it relatively recently. So, Jason, where are you from, bud? Jason Baxter. That sounds like a British name to me. Don't get many American Jasons, do you? I don't think. I think Jason's generally a British name, isn't it? So, as we thought, I put that there where the buyers, price came down to it. I put that there where sellers are, price went up to it. And what did it do? It went a little bit sideways. And I put that up there and price went straight up to it. So, you know, you can, hey mate, fellow Brit, where you from? Hey mate, where's you North Yorkshire-ish? Where? You know where you are. Shropshire, I am. So you can see our book map plays a part. We pushed up strong, went a little bit sideways right here, pushed up strong, hit those orders, went a little bit sideways. So you can see this playing a part. Now, there are buy orders down here, but by far the strongest orders are 85, which is there. So my guess is this thing's going to continue up. It could pull back first, but my guess is that's probably what it's going to do. Sounds north to me. It's just you went, hey, mind you, you can write it and you can say it. If you say it, it depends how you say it. It's quite different. But yeah, you do sound like you're from Northish, don't you? I've not come across many American Jasons, to be honest with you. So, is that a break? My guess, I'm saying it probably isn't a break because it's so small. That to me looks like it stopped at the EMA and pushed up from the EMA. So now we have a overshoot, a possible overshoot. So, but you can see how it's working with these semi-North Yorkshire. It is. There you go. How good am I, eh? Yorkshire it is. I spent some time in Yorkshire as a youngster. Well, Catterick, North Yorkshire. I had a stepfather in the army. I do have a lot of fun with these Americans here. Talking about Yorkshire tea and Worcestershire sauce. It cripples them on the spot. So those orders, now it looks to me like this measured move. Let's have a look. So where does that finish up here? Okay, so the orders at 90 and they start to feather out then. So it does look like. So that to me looks nice. That to me looks like an overshoot. So I would be a little bit careful here. I would expect, mind you, it depends. 90 strong orders at 90. This thing may continue up. But I just wouldn't trade long. You're obviously trading long at the moment. I wouldn't trade long here at the moment anyway, because if it is an overshoot, we're right kind of in that danger zone. Now, sometimes overshoots will just continue up, have a strong move up, and then reverse. Sometimes they'll reverse on the spot. Sometimes you'll get a bigger correction. But there's nothing you can do up here, to be honest with you. I'm still waiting on my $2,000 payment. It's been exactly a week now. I did message them. They apologised. They said they're really busy at the moment. I know they've had issues. But it's just still showing pending. There's not much I can really do at the moment. That's the one slightly negative side about Apex is the time it takes. Yeah, they are. I've heard a few people saying that, though. I mean, you know, there's pros and cons with everything, but, you know, things like Traderify, Lucid, Take Profit Trader, My Funny Features, they're all super quick on the payment. So I'm hoping that Apex are, you know, working on speeding things up because they've definitely got some good points. But I'm not in a super rush for it. You know, I've had it done overnight and it's taken 6 days before, I think. So right to that measured move. Orders at 95. Sellers, quite strong sellers at 95. That is quite a bunch of sellers right in this area here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing took a tumble. Russell, if you're only interested in orders on the DOM history, you can have this plotted on your Ninja. Do you know something? I was watching a video earlier And the DOM, correct me if I'm wrong, the DOM, I believe, is more or less this, isn't it? Isn't this the DOM just showing where there are buyers and sellers? I was just watching a few videos earlier, and I was looking at the DOM, and obviously buyers on the left, sellers on the right, which is more or less this, isn't it? So it just stuck in my mind, that did, because I'm pretty sure I've got a lifetime license on this, and I'm pretty sure I can get the DOM for free. It doesn't obviously show all this previous stuff, which really, I suppose, is irrelevant. The bars kind of tell you that anyway, don't they? But for me, it's more about, I find Bookmap makes it easy to read. Yeah, possibly. I think the one thing Bookmap is the DOM, but the tape of it, the record of its parts. So is it more or less this here, where it says current order book? That's the DOM, isn't it? Really? Because I'm pretty sure I can get it for free. Now, this at the moment is costing me $49 and $34 for live data. Now, I'm pretty... Yeah, I thought as much. I might have a go of it. I might have a play around later. I'm pretty sure, because if I've got the live... Sorry, the lifetime license, I'm pretty sure I can get the DOM for free. But this at the moment is $49 a month, and I think it's $34 for live data. I'm pretty sure I can get live data through Apex for $10 a month. But all I'm mainly interested in, the main thing I'm interested in, is where there are buyers and sellers. If I'm looking to short here and there are massive sell orders here, then I'm best avoiding my short, because chances are it's going to move up and it could get me in a bit of bother. So that's, I mainly use Bookmap to figure out where to stay out. So I'm going to, thanks for that, Russell. I'm going to have a play around with that later. Where's the video I watched earlier? History. I don't remember where it was now. What's that much stuff on YouTube? Surprised my wife hasn't left me. I can't find it now. It may have been one of these. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look later. But yeah, I'm gonna have a play around with it. So, see these sellers, mind you, you may think every time we go up, we're hitting sellers. Those sellers seem to just be getting stopped out, don't they? It does make you wonder why are people selling in such a strong push up? I'm assuming people try and pick tops, don't they? But if you look at this, why is there so many sellers up here when price is slowly continuing up? It's going to hit their sell and push up and stop them out. But we have got a bunch of orders around 690 to maybe I don't know, maybe 875 and higher. So at the moment, we've got orders above and below. So I wouldn't be shocked if we go sideways a little bit there. But we have got buyers 90 and below. So let's pop it. In fact, let's get that there. So they kind of start at around about 19 drop. So around about there-ish, we've got buyers now. We're in a trending market's currently trending anyway. How far it goes, who knows? But we have broken all this level here, so maybe we come down. Now, as we know, sometimes resistance becomes support. We push up, we bounce off support and push up. So you can understand why there's buyers there. But there are sellers at 700. What's that gone? Which is there. So I'm assuming they're thinking if we can get above this, let's drop. Trouble is, my experience of trying to pick tops just doesn't often happen. Mind you, you've only got to pick it once a reversal. You may catch a massive move, but I think it's probably a little bit more complicated than that. But there are strong orders between 700 and 705. So I think there's a good chance price is going to get into this area. It may pull back to here first, into this area. It's hard to say. So if this is continuing on, then maybe I can adjust this like that. Well, what I will say is it's working along that midline quite neatly. So that's the trouble with when you're using these, they're constantly ever evolving. And sometimes it's hard to know whether the channel's had a break. But what I will say, if there is a small break here, this thing is just continuing on up. So I think it's okay to adjust it. So I'd expect a retest of the bottom of this somewhere. And in all fairness, we're going a little bit sideways there. We know there are buyers there, so I wouldn't be shocked if this thing had a bit of a pullback to this area. But if there are enough aggressive buyers, and there are at the moment, you can clearly see there are more aggressive buyers just hitting the button than sellers at the moment, but that could change in a heartbeat. So this thing may still have a pullback, but we know there are buyers there. So if I wanted to go long here, I'd be waiting because this thing could have a pullback. So that's the it does help me make better decisions. So I'm looking at Dan's chart at the moment. He's looking at exactly the same thing I am. So I'm guessing Thomas Wade will be as well. Yeah. So at least we're all on the same page. That's the main thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing has a pullback, but you just never know, unfortunately. Sellers are just creeping up, aggressive sellers. So if you've got people continuing to buy this thing may have a little bit of a flush down. Previous version of me would have been calling tops. Yeah, you and me both, mate. You know, I it's funny that whenever I'm trading PA accounts, I trade with the trend. Whenever in the past I've taken evaluations, I seem to have done the complete opposite. I know it doesn't make sense, does it? So it just tells me sometimes I've got a lot to learn. So bearish bar there. So I wouldn't be shocked if this thing had a pullback here. But as I say, if you get enough buyers, then just who knows? The market surprises you sometimes. Just when you think this thing can't go any higher, it just continues on up. I will say you do stop doing stupid things at some point. I think it probably took me a little bit more than most to learn that. But I am in a really comfortable place now. I can sit in front of a chart now and take a trade and feel quite comfortable. Whereas it used to be kind of a mixture of excitement and complete fear. But now I think I've realised that I know enough to make money. All I need to do is just follow the rules. And once you get to that level where you're confident enough that you've got enough skills to make money, and all you've really got to do is follow the rules, when you start to do that, your account starts to grow and you start to earn money. And then you start to enjoy trading. I enjoy the challenge. It can be as boring as arse sometimes, but that's kind of life, isn't it? No jobs, fun and games all the time. But, sometimes when the market's chopping like yesterday, it's boring as hell, isn't it? But yeah, I'm not scared to take a trade now. I'm confident that I can build my accounts up to make money. And when you can get to that level, trading does become more enjoyable. Just life sat in front of a chart, because there are times where I've just dreaded waking up in the morning. So we're going a bit sideways here. We're kind of losing a bit of momentum. So I think, I'd probably expect, the trouble is there are still very strong sellers above here, but I think personally buyers, when it starts to do this, start to think, maybe it's time to take my profits. And usually that creates something like that. So is this thing going to continue up? I think there's a good chance. But as we know, there are buyers around here. So if you want to buy this market to continue on up, below liquidity, below here is usually quite a sensible place to put orders in. Now, we generally, as a Pats trader, we don't put orders in. We wait for the market to do something, and then wait for a signal bar. But I bet you now there'll be traders taking this 2 legs down, and it may well work. But while I see these orders up here, these orders down here, I would wait. Having said that, they are quite strong, and it may well work. But while we've got strong buyers below where I get in, and this is a typical example of what not to do. I would leave this personally. It does look like 2 legs, but while we've got a huge amount of buyers down here, I would be leaving that alone. But, hey, presto, sometimes things work. You can see aggressive buyers pushing it up. So it's irrelevant what's above here and below. If there's enough aggressive buyers, they'll put price up. And you can clearly see what's going on there, can't you? There's nearly double the amount of buyers there. But this just isn't quite good enough for me. With, liquidity here and these buyers, I would have let that go, but it's okay. That's fine. It doesn't bother me in the slightest leaving a trade behind. If it doesn't feel right, I'll leave it alone. Just make me a little bit lighter. Yeah, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Best thing to do, if something doesn't feel right, just walk away from it. It's good policy, that is. It'll save your arse more than missing a trade. So look. Yeah, we all do stupid things. We've all done them. Trust me. I'm a master at doing stupid things. I have been in the past. I've done ridiculous things. I can't tell you how many times I've thrown away evaluation after evaluation just purely out of frustration. I went through a stage for a long while of having 5 accounts with a couple of grand in and then getting a couple of new accounts, trying to gamble them away, trying to get them to move up quick, trying to get a bit of a boost on them. And I can't tell you how many dozens and dozens I blew just from doing that. But in the end, you give up. You just realise it does not work. And then when you start doing things the right way, you get that really nice sense of achievement and sense of self-control. And life just gets better. So I've been going for 45 minutes. I'm getting a bit dry in the old mouth. So I'm going to make myself a quick cup of tea. It's my 5-minute thing. Okay, so I'm just going to put that 5-minute break. I mean, this is a really strong trending channel at the moment, isn't it? How far has it gone up? Not as much as I thought. 60 odd points, 65, 66 points. But yeah, I don't think it's quite over yet. I don't think it's going to go up much further. But there you go. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of tea, and I'll be back. Okay. What did I miss? Okay, so what's going on here? So you can see their orders at 710. Quite a strong amount. There are orders here to buy and down here at 85, which is here. So what do I think is going to happen? Let's put that to 10. So I would expect, I was going to say a break here. We've already got one. So there is a second entry long there. However, in fact, those orders at 10 have just been yanked. You can see them. Well, they've dropped. They were stronger here, so I would leave that. That's got risk written all over it. And there you go. So, second entry long. There's bound to be traders taking that. And you'd have got stitched. You took that, did you? Yeah, I wouldn't take that, mate. I think after a while you get to kind of notice the signs. One of them was Bookmap. And not only that, my experience is the bigger the channel, the bigger the break. It doesn't always work that, but it does. Not only that, as well, straight away, warning signs for me is that it's going sideways. The EMA's flat and we've got a leg down, and as we know, a lot of the time we'll go down, across and down, or vice versa. I would hold personally, it's already happened anyway, to be fair. I would wait personally. See, a lot of these orders are disappearing now, so yeah, I would kind of wait. It's already kind of gone anyway without me if I wanted to, but no, this to me is still part of this sideways stuff, I think. So it just doesn't feel, you know, what I've found is if you wait for those absolute beauties that literally jump and wave in front of you, they just don't fail. So if you took that now and you're still in this trade, straight away you'd be worrying, wouldn't you? As I say, it rarely just does that and pushes straight up. When we have a break, the bigger the channel, the bigger the break. So I don't know how far it went. Now, the higher low may be a better option. But at the moment, I'm just sitting and waiting here because I think after a while, just the look of it either attracts you to it or puts you off. And the look of this at the moment is just saying stay out of it. You do get that kind of instinct just from experience, don't you? So I'll be amazed if it doesn't stop below there. How far did it go? So you'd have got about 2.25 points off that. I go for 3 points and it would up to it there for me. So that would have been a losing trade for me. So, yeah, I'd have stayed out of both of those, and neither of them would have worked. Not for me personally. There is 2 legs down, so that would be a better option to look for. Not this particular one, but to look for. But at the moment, if you look at, how you doing, Speedy? Look what's happening here. All these short orders up here, with the exception of, there's obviously some, but a lot of these short orders are starting to disappear, and the orders are starting to get thicker down here, kind of 92, 85, 82, 80. So they're all down here. So I would be just sitting and waiting. That is not. So we've got 2 nice legs there and a strong bull bar. So yeah, there's not really much you can do here, to be honest with you. But I've got alarm bells going along purely and simply because these orders act like magnets. There's very little in the way of magnets up now, is there? Most of the magnets are down below. So I would straight away put longs on hold. It's irrelevant, how good the chart looks. So sometimes it'll just hit an area and turn. So with those masses of orders, so they start around about 85, which is there, and they go down to, well, right about 80, just below 80, so around about here. So there are a load of buy orders here. Now, there's probably traders thinking, you can see this area is active of support and resistance. So if it gets back to this area, based on what you can see here and here, you can understand why buyers would want to buy in this area, can't you? So we may get a channel down for a bit with a break at a new low, and then we may get a move up. It's hard to say, but all I can see on Bookmap at the moment is these that are acting as magnets. There's very little up here. They're all starting. There are obviously bits, but nothing compared to how strong it is down here. So that, for me, I would be thinking about pausing. So this, to me, looks like it may be the start of a channel down. And the trouble is, sometimes you miss these shorts because so many people are thinking about going long, they get trapped, and then the short comes down and stops them out. And I've done it myself. I'm that focused on going long here. We get a nice big bull bar. I think, yeah, we've had a break, 2 legs, bullish bar, let's go long. Triggers you, comes down, and then once it's done that a couple of times, you realise there's a channel down. So this is where I expect price to get to. You got 2 points, did you, bud? From that one there, did you? Yeah, I mean, with such a big channel, I wouldn't get involved here. Although we've got a channel break and a new low, there's a possibility Mac may even mark that because it went for a couple of points. But with such a small break, the bigger the channel, the bigger the break, my experience is. So, yeah, it may do. It's hard to say, but for me, it's a bit sideways, and that always makes me a little bit nervous. But we got a little micro channel with a break at a new low, but didn't go very far, did it? And that is the beauty about having Bookmap. You can see, without Bookmap, you'd be thinking about going long here, wouldn't you? You may not have that channel, but I can see where the orders are, or the magnets, and they're down. So for me, this thing's likely to go down. You're going to have liquidity here, liquidity here, liquidity here, and here. We've got to have a second entry short, though, for obviously the jump in. So orders at 90. Let's put something in here because that may slow things down. See if we can get a second entry short off this top here somewhere. See, Thomas Wade just mentioned he's looking for a push above the EMA, so he's looking to retest this. But I've got Bookmap, he hasn't. So I can see this thing is more likely to come down. Let me just take a screenshot of that. I don't like to push people into doing things, but sometimes, if you say to someone you were looking for long there, Bookmap was telling us price was going to come down, maybe something like this will help you. Trouble is, I understand the practice that if it's worked for you for so long, then why change it? So there are sell orders at 02, which is there. There is a bearish bar there. Very tempting, that is. Trouble is with these sellers, it's not a huge amount, 250 actually. With these here, I would have to wait. Never triggered on that side anyway, which is okay. There's a little double bottom there, I think. No, it's broken below it. So it's tempting, isn't it? Trouble is, I mean, look at that off that bar. It's tempting. Trouble is, we're almost at the lows. Those orders at 0250 are starting to disappear. So once you get that pushed down, sometimes I'll just yank them orders. See if we get a lower high. Second entry short. There's going to be liquidity. No argument there. Just I'm not risking that for 22 when there's hardly anything left. Yeah, see, you can see Thomas Wade is looking for a long gear. I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because I'm looking at Bookmap. I'm not saying it's not going to eventually push up. It may well do. We are finding some support there, so it'd be interesting to see if any traders go long here. I wouldn't myself personally. Yeah, there are orders around about here. They're not strong. They're not super strong. There is a lower high here. I'm going to take that.
Order submitted.
It's got me, that is, for sure. It's a bit premature, that is, to be honest with you. I would have been better putting that up there, but I'm not going to move it anyway. That's the trouble, really, with a little bit of
order.
It's going to stop me out for a couple of ticks. With a little bit of, I'm still got orders in here. No, I haven't. That's the thing. Sometimes you can get that little bit too. What's the word? I'll be surprised if that stays safe. You can get a little bit too premature and jump in a bit. There was a lower high there. It didn't trigger. I thought it did. If I should have waited for it to trigger. Let's have a look. What are we down? $187. That's not too bad. Look at that as well. Look. I was tempted to put it up there. I should have done. Because I thought that was the safer bet. That's just one of them things. It happens. Yeah, it's closed, mate. It's closed. It was showing here, but it was closed in my rhythmic. Yeah, sometimes you can just get a little bit premature. I thought that. Wait, hold on a minute. It did break below it. It didn't look like it did. I think that was just a little bit too in the middle of this mess. I prefer a bit of a push up here or a break because it's going a bit sideways. So if we can get a break, I was tempted to move it up to there, but I'm trying not to do that. But if I did, then I'd have probably got out for break even. Let's have a look. I would have done. I was tempted because that was a safer bet. 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for a push up and maybe a triple test, but it happens sometimes. You just get in a little bit too quick, and that's kind of how it works. It's one of them things. I try not to move stops, but sometimes, it's one of them things, isn't it? Trouble is, I took this one. I'd have to move that up about 1.5, and really, I shouldn't be doing that. So, no strategy. Finally lost all patience with Pat. What I will say is a lot of people, do pats and think it's hard and move away. I'll tell you what it is for certain. It's not just pats. All strategies are hard. They all take time. But kind of people try something for a while and think it's hard. You've still got to kind of apply it to the correct context of the market, and that's kind of the problem. It's just one of them things. It's just one of them things. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Bounce, bounce, bounce. See what happens here. There's still lots of, what's it down here? There's lots of buyers down here. Strong buyers down here, but we got to get a decent pullback. Yeah, so if I'd have taken that one, that would have worked in the end. But I'd have had to move me stop a point. So I'm trying not to do that, because if it does go against you, you're losing an extra point. Yeah, see, I'm looking on this one. There's a lower high. I'm thinking there's bulls trapped there, so this thing's going to go down. But, it's one of them things, isn't it? So, now, let's see if we can get 1, 2, 3 triple test and push up here. Let's put them back where they were. So strong buyers down there at 85. For me, this has got to push up above here, and then I would consider that as a triple test. Let me just let me get an order up here just in case.
Order submitted.
Right off the key entry point. Trouble is, it's massive. Just ditch that.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, that's the trouble with Pats. I don't think Mac explains it very well. You need to talk about losers. You have to talk about losing. It's something he avoids, and it can make your life so much harder. It really can. But yeah, that's the kind of downside, really. I want this to push above here and clear above there, and then maybe we'll get a triple test and a push down to these, to this area here to accept everything. But yeah, he doesn't explain it, does he? He really doesn't. Yeah, it was a bit in the middle of that chop, really. I just liked the way it trapped that bar there. There was a triple test there, and it pushed up and came down, so I thought that was going to come down. It has. It's done what I expected to. The trouble is, it's tempting to take that one, but we get the little bit of a wick, and I've already lost a trade, so sometimes you're best off just waiting a bit. That was the one there, wasn't it? See, you say move on. You can still learn from your losses. You know, it's good to look at them, think about what you may have missed. So learning from your losses is still a good thing. So I don't believe in losing it and then just forgetting it and move on. If you can learn something, my learning thing there is I got a little bit too premature there. It was, you know, the thought process was there, but I think I got in just a little bit of I think really trading off this top, that would have been a better option because eventually it worked. But that one, it's a little bit too in the middle of this. So that's kind of what I've learned. And then next time around, when I see that picture, I'll give that one a miss. But funnily enough, it went straight back up to the top of this and then reverse. So, you know, it's a bit premature there. But, you know, that's the thing sometimes. You've got your finger on the trigger and you've got to kind of make flat, quick decisions. And you know, the more experience you get, the less you'll do with those. But, you know, if I'd have just waited to get it back to the top, then look what happened. It worked. I just didn't like the wick, to be honest with you. But look, I mean, it's gone down, what, five and three quarters, 5.5 points. Yeah. Trouble is about finding new strategies. These strategies take time. They can take a long time to really learn. So what you kind of want to do is going from strategy to strategy. Do you know what I mean? But you do get better at reading the charts and you get better at making decisions. You know, it really does. But it's just really getting that patience. I think my patience went there. I saw that and jumped in a little bit too premature, which happens sometimes. You know, it's weird. Sometimes you can be super strict. Other times you can be a little kind of lapsy-daisy, for want of a better word. I think another time I focus a little bit too much on bookmap there, but the fact that we pushed up and came down and we had a bull bar trap there, I thought that was going to come down. But there we go. I think I got in a little bit too far. We come off the tops and there was a lower high, but price just wanted to go back. Uh, yeah, I mean Mac doesn't explain things very well, and that's how you know you can pick up wrong ideas and you can miss out and stuff. It is a good system. I don't doubt that for a second. Uh, so we're coming into these buy areas now. So I'm not convinced that's an overshoot. It touches there, so if we can get two legs up, you can see all these buyers here, can't you? From kind of 86 and below. So if we can get, I expect price to come below. So if we can get two legs up, we may get something. Yeah, agree. Pat's does work, but yeah, Mac isn't very good explaining it. I couldn't agree more. It does work. Every strategy takes time to learn to read. You know, it's not learning this is a great strategy. You'll be up and running in 2 minutes. You know, it doesn't work that way. You still have to learn how to apply it to the correct context. You know, you really do. They are hindering, yeah. I think going for 1 point, it crucifies traders personally. And he doesn't talk about losses. You have to. Occasionally, recently, he's brought a few losing trades, but you know, every trader that I've ever watched, learned from, read a book from, talks about losses. It's a massive subject, and you have to. It's probably one of the most important subjects to talk about, discuss, and be aware of, because it's always going to happen. It's just kind of how it is. It's just unfortunate. Yeah, Thomas Wade. One of the things I liked about Thomas Wade when I first watched him is because he's not frightened to show his losing trades. Losing trades happen. It's a fact of life. Yeah, Mac's been trading 25 years plus, and going for 1 point, he probably doesn't take a lot. That's fair enough. But you're not teaching trading to 25-year plus traders. You're teaching trading to inexperienced traders mostly. So it's just kind of one of those things, isn't it? You say Pats is not a system. It kind of is, isn't it? It's kind of, you know, you're looking for a couple of legs, kind of pullbacks. It's quite a common way of trading, really, isn't it? You're waiting for pullbacks to the EMA, really. The only difference is a lot of other traders in a downtrend will put sell orders right at the EMA and a little bit of a stop and down. Whereas the awkward thing about Pats is not only we're waiting for it to get back to the key entry point, we're looking for a signal to move it back on in that kind of direction. Yeah, you're right. Some people can trade, some people can teach. You know, nothing against Mac, but I don't think he's very good at teaching. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. But you know, it kind of is what it is, isn't it? So we're starting to get into this area of buyers here. In fact, they've shifted down a bit from around about here to kind of just below, yeah, to about there. There are buyers there. Still there, actually. Yeah, some people are just not very good at it. You know, I think personally, Mac misses out on incredibly important things that you need to teach traders. You have to talk about losses. It's a fact. And it surprises me that he doesn't. But, you know, he doesn't. Recently, a few traders have posted their losing trades, and he's talked about them. I think that is worth its weight in gold, and I think you need to do more of it. I think it's more important to send in your losses and discuss why things didn't work. I know, some may say, "Oh, sometimes things don't work," but no, it's a learning process. You know, you can't say, "Well, sometimes things don't work," but if you're going long in a downtrend, there's a reason why it didn't work. It's because you're going long in a downtrend. So, you know, is this thing going down a bit steeper or what? Yeah, it is frustrating though when you get stopped out for a few ticks and it ends up going the direction. But for me, clearly there, I went kind of short into a little bit of chop. I could see this going down. I thought I was going to get ahead of the game. I thought there'd be kind of traders stuck going long here, and I thought that may have a little bit of a move down, liquidity down here, but it just came back, took me out for 3 or 4 ticks, and went where I expected it. But that's down to experience. That I jumped in a little bit too premature there, but it happens. You've just kind of got to let it go. So maybe, let me just remove this a minute. I think this may be moving down into something else. Let me have a look. NVIDIA, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. I heard something about it on the news yesterday. Yeah, you get better at it. What I will say, what time is it now? What I will say is, when you've had a hell of a lot of experience at price action and you're only scalping for a point, you're going to have a very high win rate. I don't doubt it. But that's you. That's someone with 20 odd years experience. You have to teach people. You can't teach something to someone that's, you can't teach to someone like they've been doing it for years. You need to teach people in a kind of a basic, easy to understand way. And you can't, the trouble is he misses stuff out. Because it's kind of, it's kind of all he knows, really. Coming here bitching about Mac has obviously been therapy. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy. There's no argument there, and for what he charges you, but it's okay to have respect for someone, but don't necessarily like the way they teach you. I think when you're learning from Mac, losses are a lot more painful. That's what I'll say. But I respect the guy for 2 reasons. One, he charges a tiny amount. Just, some people are, like you say, some people can trade, some people can teach. He's a good trader, I don't doubt that. But a teacher, he's lacking there. But, it's okay. We're not all good at everything. But the fact that he does, charge a small amount, just wondering why all these orders. Somebody mentioned about NVIDIA numbers coming out today. A lot of these thicker orders are disappearing. There are still some here. I'm assuming this is this VWAP, I think, isn't it? Yeah, sometimes when you get news coming out, this thing starts to go dark. The fact that there's still orders there, but just not super strong. Mind you, if there are strong buys down here, if VWAP was going to make an issue on the market, I think we'd have some kind of news or something, wouldn't we? I don't recall it ever having an issue that I'm aware of. We have got FOMC. See, sometimes markets are horrible when there's FOMC. They've been all right today. They've actually been moving. There's not been a huge amount of setups, but they've been moving nonetheless. So let's get at that. So we're waiting for a pullback, but I'm also waiting for orders. 77.50. There are some. There are some shorts there. Hold on a second. Someone's posted something. Can't read it very well. I don't exactly know what that is, to be honest with you. Yeah, it doesn't really mean much to me, that. Oh, it's aftermarket closes it. Got you. Gotcha. So we got overnight highs here. So be interesting to see if we get any type of a bounce here. So what I'm going to do as well, just out of curiosity, is do that. Because sometimes we may get a break in a couple of legs, and if it gets to around this area, could play a part. So I'm just going to kill the colour, just so it's an area of interest rather than. But we've got a touch, a touch, a touch, a touch, and a touch. It's touching really nice along there. So maybe if we get two legs up and it gets into contact with this area, that may be something. Buyers at 62.50, which is there. No, he doesn't. Context is everything. Context is everything. Absolutely. I mean, you can teach someone what a second entry short is in about 2 minutes, but teaching them to apply it to the correct context, that's where the time and the skill and experience comes in. And that just comes with time, doesn't it? You can't teach that really, can you? You can give someone guidance, but you can't really teach it. You can guide someone, but ultimately you've got to trade it and feel it and understand it, haven't you? You know, looking at price makes a difference as well. You get used to, generally markets tend to move kind of very similar most of the time, with the exception sometimes, things work a little differently, but this thing just doesn't want to pull back, does it? Yeah, let me start this from there, I think. It's running right the way down that midline, isn't it? Up to the top. See if we get a couple of legs up here. 65. There are some orders at 65. It's not high enough for me. Trouble is, this thing's super bearish. Trouble is, you don't know when it's going to have a break. You may decide to jump in and it decides to do that and just take you out. So I never just like these. I always like to hit the EMA. I know Mac will mark some of these. I ate them, to be honest with you. Rarely explain context. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's infuriating, really. I'm guessing he must have been told. And for the life of me, I don't know why. I don't know why he
Order
hasn't
submitted.
changed things. I really don't. So there are, what is it, 70? Yeah, for the life of me, I don't know why.
Order cancelled.
Drop that a minute. Okay, channel with a break. We can get close to this 70 area and get a nice bearish bar. We may have a go. Leg. It's a nice channel down, so I think there's a good chance. Oh, that's interesting. Trouble is, I wouldn't take it because, mind you, the orders aren't very strong there, but I'm still leaving this alone. Because we got a channel here with the break. We haven't made a new high yet, and we have trapped some shorts there, so I think that's going to get stopped out and straight away. So let me get my order back in here.
Order submitted. I like the way it's flickering around here a bit. If we can get up to this 70 and get something bearish, I wouldn't mind letting it go there. Yeah, couldn't take that. There is some orders above it. So channel break too high. Okay, let's see if we get reaction here. I like that. Order submitted.
Bound to trap some bars there, I think. Not a huge risk. Come on. There we go. Two nice legs up, bearish bar. Oh no, don't do that. Oh, we're a couple of ticks away. I still like it. Two nice legs up, bearish bar. Oh, not two losses. Orders down here at 60, down below, so I still think this is okay. I don't like the way this is flickering around. Come on. Come on, you've got... Okay, fingers crossed.
Order filled.
Beautiful. Let me just check. There are orders showing here, but they've all finished. So let me just close this. And then connect it again. We're okay, I think. There are strong orders down at 60, so I think this is probably going to go a bit more. So it just shows you if you sit patiently and don't panic. So I lost a little bit more on the first one, but I'm only down $45 now, so that's not terrible. Everything's closed as it should. Yeah, sometimes you'll see orders up here, but as long as your rhythmic positions are empty, you're okay. Now this is very tempting.
Order submitted.
Good lower high there. Where's these orders at 60?
Order
I have to
submitted.
take this. It's a lower high.
Target filled.
Beautiful. Wow, it's not often you get there. Same again. So let me just disconnect. All my what's it accounts is open. So that was even better than the first one, I think. I can't remember the last time I took 2 trades. That was text, but that was 2 legs up, bearish bar, nice big bearish bar there, and woof, straight down. So patience pays off in the end. I'm just connecting. For some reason, I get orders left here, but they are kind of closed. So I can't remember the last time, but look at that rocket down now. So 2 clear legs up, not bearish bar here, but bearish bar there. I had to take that lower high. I think it's even better than the first one because you got a bull bar there, which it comes down and triggers. And I think it's a fair comment to say the more the market moves from an entry, the better the entry, because you can clearly see that shot down about 9 points. So that tells me there was a fair amount of sellers pushing down from there. Now, you know, other sellers might not have my exact same bars, but, you know, they'll kind of have the EMA kind of in the same area. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like taking the first loss, but I knew I had to kind of put up with it, grin and bear it. You've got to. So I just carried on patiently. Took that one, that worked for 3 points. That got me sort of about $40 short. And then it's not often we end up getting something even nicer, and that just rocketed down. And that's it. So I've gone from being $190 down to being $100 up. So you can probably tell a difference in my voice when I'm trading now. I just don't panic anymore. It's just not worth it. You got 7 points off a runner. Good on you, mate. Do you know, if I'd have got up to my target, $7,500, I'd have held on there because I'd have expected that to go to the bottom. How far was it? So, oh, mind you, tell a lie. It was, when it goes sideways, I'd probably put that there, to be honest with you. You could double up on that, 6 points. That one pulled down, I'd probably put it there, and then when that one finished, probably around there. So you could get, you know, if you get a nice setup, nice setups usually do move and move well. So that one there, they usually move and move well. When you see these really good setups, they don't half move, and if you pay attention to them, it's worth holding on a little bit. Just take this second one here. So I can't remember the last time I took 2 trades. Certainly in the space of about 2 minutes. But I liked it that much. I had to. Sometimes, as scary as it can be, sometimes if you see a setup, you've got to take it. And I like the fact that we pulled up. We hit that liquidity, which I mentioned at 70. If you got in here, you got in premature. But if you wait till it hits 70, and look what happened. It pushed up to it, that 70 came down. So we got a channel break, new high. You'd expect that to work. But same again, Bookmap gave me the confidence to take that trade. So that was a 3-point loss, 3.3 point. So let me mark this up. Do you know what? I would say about 80% of the trades I take are on this left chart. It's weird, isn't it? I was talking to Marco a week or 2 ago as well. He said the same. It's weird how that works. So was that? That was a lower high. Yeah, I should have known better there, but sometimes you just get a little bit too trigger finger, for want of a better word. So let's just mark these up before I forget. So that was a lower high. That was a minus 3 points. Let's just make that red. So that was that one. And that channel break new high. So I call that a second entry. By the count, it's not really. There's the first entry there. It's a third entry. But as it's a channel break new high, you're okay to take that one. So Mac will mark that one, I don't doubt. So that is a plus 3 points. I think I can just copy that. That was a lower high. You're off, are you, bud? Yeah, you take it easy, mate. You take it easy. So now, Bookmap is telling me there are buyers down here in this area here, so I think there's a chance this is probably going to go lower. So let me just. Can actually call that a fail breakout as well, because we got a little bit of a box going there, haven't we? So let's find out, see if anybody else took stuff. Okay. So Thomas Wade had a bar like mine there. Luckily, I had a good bar on my second chart, but Thomas Wade took the lower high there, so he took that, and I'm guessing, I hope he got a good runner out of that. He would have done, because it hasn't come back. He tends to try and milk his runners. I don't blame him, to be honest with you, but it was a nice lower high. You're expecting that to come and test the lows, but we haven't come back. We're continuing down, so I'm guessing his runner is. I'm guessing he's going to make some profit out of that. So it's a shame, really. I took that one a little bit too premature, because I'd have had 2 trades. But you know, it's a learning process. I've done this before once or twice. Got in when it's really a bit choppy. I think the thing I probably should have done there was done that. And going short into the bottom probably wasn't the most advisable thing to do. Trouble is, you've got to make fast decisions, and you know there's always that little bit of nerves there. Always, you're always gonna have them, and that's okay. That's not a problem. Dealing with the losses is you know, is much more of an, it's much more important. You know, making the odd mistake from experience, lack of experience, or a little bit of naivety is okay, as long as you deal with a loss okay. And I sat patiently, which is something I could have never have done 6 months ago. And I waited patiently, trying to break new high and a nice lower high. Both of them worked. So if you're patient, it's amazing how things can turn. So So, what's going on here? In fact, I rarely take another trade. To be fair, 3 trades in one day is quite a lot for me. I don't think my nerves can take it. So, doubtful I will take another one, unless it looked absolutely beautiful. But you got a lot of buyers down here below about 54-ish. Which is kind of around this area. Now you're going to have, there's a big bullish bar there which is triggered. So if I was in that trade there, I'll be pretty nervous about that. But I'm not taking this lower high either. Same again, it's very similar to the other one in the middle of that chop. Now, it may work. If I think back on that first trade I took, I'm more or less in at the same place, close to the lows. See it there? I'm in off the top. And I did the same there. It came back and stopped me out, didn't it? So those trades do teach you stuff straight away. As soon as I saw that, I thought of this. Now, it may hold, but one thing that's making it look scary to me is it didn't break below that big bull bar. So it may push up on it this, I'd say, but very similar to this in a way. So it's not looking so rosy now, is it? Now things can obviously turn, but that would have been, what's that, 3.25 point risk, something like that. And I'm a tick away from getting stopped out there. There is a failure there, but same again, it's just a bit, it's around that midline. So it's just, I think really, same with this one. If I'd have waited for it to get back up to the top of this, I mean, we're in a downtrend there at the moment. It's going a bit sideways, but I think the key is waiting for it to get here. If you get it in around the middle, it can, you know, throw a spanner in the works, and that's how I got caught out there. But that's okay. You remember them; they do teach you. And there you go. See, so as soon as I saw that, I thought of that trade. So straight away, it's potentially taking me, saving another loss. I mean, we got to move down there. We have got 2 attempts to push higher, so it may well push down. That may well work, but it's off the top, and it's a bit risky. So, cheers, mate. I appreciate that. So don't think those those losses don't teach you something. They absolutely do. So it's okay to take losses. You know, there's nothing wrong with them. No one likes them, to be honest with you, do they? I certainly don't. But as long as you hold your nerve and just carry on and work through them, and it's surprised how quick you forget about them. That's unless you take 2 in a row and on the Friday, then it can stay with you over the weekend. But so I went from being nearly $200 down to being $100 up per account. That's $1,000 basically. So what could have been not a brilliant day, it turned out right in the end. What time are we? 10:02. So I won't take another trade, I don't think. No. So unless we got a really beautiful bearish bar here, that will be a second entry short. Now, what I could do if I didn't want to take another one is maybe trade one or two of my accounts. So there's not much in the way of sellers up here. I'm sitting tight anyway. I won't take another trade now, but I don't think if that finishes bearish, it's a terrible trade. That's a tip. So tempting there. Triple test. It is too, but I'm going to leave it. There are strong buyers here, but to be honest with you, we've bounced down here 1, 2, 3, and we haven't quite managed to clear them out. So it's never it hasn't triggered anyway. So I'm quite happy just to sit with my money. So what am I? We're on Wednesday, and I'm 250 up for the week. So that is where I kind of like to be. 250 for the week will give me $1,000. So even, you know, an average week, and we're only kind of just over halfway through it, it's not that difficult to you know, average $250. I think, you know, it's underestimating it what some traders do. But even just a relatively simple amount can turn into, you know, really nice income. What time is it? Okay, on that note, I think I'm going to knock it on the head. I'm up nicely. It turned into an okay day, so I'm just going to keep it like that, I think. So I appreciate your company. I'll leave you guys to it. So where are we? Wednesday. I've got late night shopping in my little town, and the Christmas lights go on, so I'm going in with a wife. And my daughter's going in with a boyfriend, so I think we're on our own, so we may just nip out and have a couple of nice little scotches. So I'm going to leave you guys to it. So I appreciate your company. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all again. Best of luck. Have a safe evening, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.